Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today, let's talk about the month of March 2025 and how different transits happening in this month will impact you as per your ascendant or the moon sign. So, the transits of March are quite a hot topic among all the astrologers and even the people who love learning about astrology. They want to know how the planets are impacting your journey. Why is it such a hot topic? Because there's a lot happening in Pisces. Right now, we have Rahu in Pisces, we have Venus in Pisces, there is Mercury over there, and then Sun and Saturn will join Pisces in the month of March. So, almost five planets in the very sign of Jupiter. So, that's something different happening in March. And then also we have a total lunar eclipse and a partial solar eclipse happening within the month of March. So many celestial events happening within 1 month. Let's talk about them. Let's see how this is going to impact you in many different ways: your soul journey, your spiritual quotient, your emotional quotient, and the finances. So let's get started. Hey everyone, let's talk about Aries. So this month you have a full moon in Leo in the fifth house and a total lunar eclipse at the very junction of your fifth and the sixth house. This month is significant with respect to your happiness, what you want in life. How happy you are with your very own self. If you're not happy about your journey, about where you are, if you're constantly complaining, then this can be a very difficult month. What the moon is teaching you here is to be courageous, to be focused towards your life, wherever you are going, whatever you are doing. There might be a block, there might be a hardship, but how you sustain, how you work in this situation, this is where you have to really take care of many things. Most importantly, your well-being, your physical health is something significant. You need great care at this time. And a lot happening in your 12th house as well, where we have Venus, Mercury, Rahu, Sun, and even Saturn going into this very same house by the end of March. So, a lot happening in the 12th house. So, this could be something very unexpected in your journey. It could be that you have to take care of your health, maybe someone else in your family, they need some kind of help, because this is the house of expenditure, draining the finances, draining of emotional energy. Maybe it's nothing, but a lot of overthinking is going to happen for you. Maybe something very big in your life is about to happen, and you are there sitting in anticipation, worrying a lot about it. Great worry over nothing. So, that kind of scenario happens with so many placements in the 12th house. And again, like how you narrate stories, how there's so many voices in your head that this can happen, that can happen. This is all happening in the mind. Maybe it's not happening in the reality. So, how you talk to yourself, how you communicate with yourself, this is where a lot of focus needs to happen. More of a draining energy, especially when Saturn joins the Sun and Rahu in the 12th house. Worry over someone's well-being could also be something which is challenging you. And for a lot of people, this could also be visiting very unfamiliar places, meeting unfamiliar people. Like there's some factor of unknown happening in your life, going into a different direction, something you haven't done before. So that again is some kind of resistance, because we resist going into the unknown, we resist the changes in life. And the March, this month, marks a major ending of a certain challenge in your life as well, like something reaching to its complete climax, like, okay, finally a decision is being made. But this month is greatly about your willpower, how you are consistent with your willpower and your courage, and also just wait and see how things fall into place rather than overthinking a lot about situations which are not even happened yet in your life. So overall, I would say with the full moon and the Leo in the fifth house, do small things which really make you happy, focusing on micro habits, micro things, small things in life which are so important and they make you really happy. For Taurus, there's a full moon in Leo happening in your fourth house. This is a time when major focus towards your loved ones, your family, spending time with them. And of course, at this particular time, you will see that the sun is moving into Leo. Like the day when you have the full moon in Leo, at the very end of that day, the sun moves into Pisces, and a lot happening in the house which is ruled by Pisces, that is your 11th house. So I feel on one hand, there is love, there is joy with your people, the known people. But since the sun will move into the 11th house where there is a Rahu, and then also Saturn will join this house very soon. So what will happen is learning about boundaries with people, learning about how important it is to draw a certain limit boundary with certain people, especially in the friendships. Because these transits which are happening in the 11th house, I think it will greatly impact your community, how you socialize with people. It may change forever. How you deal with people, your trust in people, it may change forever. So, understanding of the network, the people, how some people will be very good and genuine towards you, and how some people were never good. I think that learning is significant for you. And 11th house is also about the gains in life, the profits in life, achievements as well. So definitely for Taurus, since a lot is happening in the 11th house, there's some achievement which is pending. There is some achievement which is due in your life. And very soon it will happen. Not exactly in the month of March, something is due and it will happen, but it's like it's in the very last phase of completion. There is some resistance you're facing, maybe right now, maybe by a senior, maybe by a loved one in your journey, maybe some kind of a masculine figure in your life, or someone elder in your life. There is some kind of permission you need. There is a block, which is like a permission needs to be granted, or some legal work needs to be done. So it needs to be released from the 11th house so that you attain something, you go higher in life. So that final phase of some block is there, but I think your dedication is going to bring that reward and success in your life. And I think it's not a very good time to give finances, to lend money to other people as well, because you may find it very hard to get it back. Also, you have Mars in the second house right now in Gemini. So financial matters, you have to deal with them very wisely at this time. And then there is this lunar eclipse at the very junction of your fourth and the fifth house. So something about your home, something about family, maybe even children, that may require extra care, that may require extra focus. But I see a lot of support coming from a certain loved one in your life this month. Gemini, you have Mars in the first house this entire month. So if you see with this placement, it shows trigger, it shows anger, ongoing trigger, a feeling of friction in your life. Like the very first response of you is anger, or first response in your life might be irritation. Maybe not true for everyone, but I think you are at your vulnerable state right now. So something which is not meant to be used against you to irritate you, yet it irritates you. So how you communicate and how much you talk, what are you talking with the people, that needs to be monitored. Less of communication, effective communication, but less of communication is very significant here, because it may lead to certain fights or arguments with people. A lot happening in your 10th house. There's Sun here, Rahu, Venus, Mercury debilitated, Venus exalted, and then very soon Saturn will also be here in the 10th house. So a lot in the 10th house. For Gemini, this is about a major change in how you execute your work. For the professionals who are being employed by a certain company, you're working with someone in a contract. This could be ending of a contract. This could be trying to move away from the current workplace. It could be change of place, moving into a different branch of the same company. For some people, it is about traveling to entirely a different destination to resume a new job, maybe to start with something new. And it could just simply about office politics. Not having enough clarity about the people around you, what kind of intentions they have towards you. So yes, they are creating chaos in the 10th house of profession. So it could be entirely a time when you move to a different place, or it could be just simply dealing with office politics or dealing with some kind of a conflict at the work front. For some people, it is also about a change in the strategy of how you work. It's like remodeling, giving a new structure to your business, to your work at this time. For some people, it could be a significant event at the work front, a significant project, a meeting, which is happening for you. And it changes the journey in your career path from here. And despite the career, 10th house is responsibilities. 10th house is the actions in life you take, how the world views you for your actions. So the world is looking at you at this time. The world is looking at you maybe as an inspiration. You are influencing a lot of people at this time, whether it's your professional life, personal life, and also you will find some people who are judging you, and you don't have to get demotivated. People judging you for your actions, people judging you for your decisions. I think because March is about taking very strong decisions in your life. So you may get judged because they don't know your story. They don't know who you are in your life. So be very confident with your decisions, personal or professional. A lot of work I see for Gemini, like you have to be at that center stage, doing your bit, and don't worry about what others think of you. And then we have a full moon in the 3rd house. The courage is so great at this time. And then there is this lunar eclipse at the very junction of the 3rd and the 4th house, which means sometimes you may doubt your ability, your capacity to do the best in life. Somewhere the heart and the mind looks for validation, which you really have to avoid at this time. Hey everyone, let's talk about Cancer. Cancer, well, the moon is the the deity for you. Moon is a planet which defines your life, right? So there's a total lunar eclipse this month. We have a full moon in Leo and this total lunar eclipse at the very junction of your second and the third house. So what's happening? How the moon is ruling over you this month. Moon shows some kind of an event in the family life, and it brings everyone closer. There's more love, there's more celebration, there is more unity, I feel, which is going to happen. It could be a celebration or it could be some kind of a challenge as well, because you see this month Sun goes into Pisces and Saturn also goes to Pisces at the very end of March in the ninth house. So it could be even a challenge. It could be something which is not so pleasant, okay? But it unites everyone. It just, like, sometimes we go through challenges and then we know the importance, the value of the good things in life. So that kind of experience is happening, but all positive. At the end of it, it's positive, it's beautiful, it's divine. A lot happening in the ninth house as well. But yes, let's talk about first the total lunar eclipse, which is happening in the, it's almost at the junction, okay? So it's between in the Leo and the Virgo sign, which is your second and the third house. I think you will be more free to speak, Cancer. You're more free to express yourself. You were holding on to something. You were holding on to um, a conversation. You wanted to say it from a very, very long time, but you were stopping yourself not to do it, not to say it. But I see some explosion because you have Mars in Gemini in the 12th house. There's something in your mind, it needs to be out, and it will be out, maybe in some form of aggression, maybe in some form of argument. That release happens for you and you feel better, and it enhances your courage. Maybe you feel that there is something in you, it's a limitation. It blocks you, it keeps you behind, it keeps you away from success. I think you are leaving that hesitation now. So there's more power to you, there's more courage. If you have created any block for yourself, you're removing that block as well. Some struggle may happen for the younger sibling, your cousin, maybe some challenge with a sibling, I do see at this time. So a lot happening in the ninth house, where there is Sun, there is Rahu, there is Mercury debilitated, Venus exalted, and of course Saturn will join the ninth house. So ninth house is very significant with respect to your faith, with respect to your spirituality, and that's why I was saying something changes your faith here. Something changes your belief system, maybe a challenge, but it ends on a good note. This is a house with respect to how you align with your own self, the spiritual quotient. So, a big shift in your belief system, a big shift in how you think about life is going to happen. It enhances your faith. And also, since the Venus, Mercury, Rahu are here, with respect to love, with respect to how you receive love, you give love, there's something about love situation. It could be a friend, it could be the love you have for a romantic partner or maybe a marriage partner. That changes the definition of life, your perception about life. A big lesson learned through love. That is something significant. And again, this is you on your feet, roaming here and there. There's a lot of commute and travel which may happen for you at this time. Let's talk about Leo. Well, there's a full moon in Leo this month and a total lunar eclipse at the very junction of Leo and Virgo. That is between the first and the second house. Now, what is the very true essence of being a Leo? if you are a Leo ascendant or a moon in Leo, the very essence of the Leo is to see how your identity, who you are, your happiness, how it aligns with the world, how you thrive, how you work along with the world. Okay? So, this full moon in your very first house, it brings happiness. It brings the very courage back into your journey, making you more powerful. See, you're preparing for something huge. Every Leo, even if your sun is in Leo, you're preparing for something big. Because very soon the Ketu will be in Leo, is approaching towards the Leo. So it's like a very powerful transformation happening in your journey. And you are in this preparation mode, okay? Because very soon you will go through a phase of a big transformation. Like what you know about yourself today, it changes in some time, and you are born again. That feeling of being born again, the feeling of I'm a new person. That is what your journey is about in the next 1 to 2 years. So this full moon brings a realization what needs to change in your life, where you have to be very confident in your journey, and where you have to really align with the world, how you have to work along with the world, where the concept of self is not so strong. Some change is required to align with the society, with the people, with your very own people as well. So a shift in perspective happens here. There's more courage coming to you at this time. The lunar eclipse, which is happening at the very junction of the first and second house, brings the importance of what is important for you, the valuable things in your life. Holding on to something so valuable, but it's not giving you anything, it's not giving you happiness, it's just draining you constantly. So that release will happen very soon. Holding on to something which you feel is great, but it's not giving you. See, a lot happening in the 8th house, where there is sun, there is Rahu, there is Mercury, Venus creating a Nijbang, and then very soon Saturn will be in the 8th house in Pisces as well. So 8th house is what? That very door between life and death, life and a different life, like a rebirth. So stuck with something, and it needs to be like you have to really leave that thing behind. Something which you feel is so important, but it's not happening, it's not giving you anything in return. Ending is the theme for the month of March. It could be a relationship, it could be a contract, it could be even a contract at the work front. Because Venus is contracts, and it creates this Nijbhang with Mercury. Mercury talks about the promises in love, the promises, the agreements in business. Something ends here. This is a very significant house with the power dynamics in a relationship. So that is not very easy. You see manipulation in the matters of love, in the matters of your connections and friendships maybe. So a lot is hidden, what you feel at this time. A lot of power of yours is not very accessible right now. It's like healing from a very chronic situation in life. It could be ailment, it could be just a stressful situation. So this is the time when you reach that final point, that enough of this problem, let's just heal, let's just recover. So recovery is a part which is happening for the Leo in this particular month. And the Mars in Gemini in the 11th house, it keeps you very active towards your goals. You're constantly working behind the scenes. You're constantly doing your work. It looks like you are resting, but there's a lot of work your mind is doing. Preparation is being done. So for Leo, the month of March is more about assessing things and to end something at this particular time. Like you cannot take this any longer to the next step of your life. Health needs a lot of care. Your well-being is the first priority in this month. For Virgo, there's a full moon in your 12th house this month. It's happening in Leo. So it could be about hiding of one's very own feelings this month. You may look very bold and strong in front of the world, but there's a lot of softness, vulnerable aspect of your personality which is hidden, and you're not showing it to everyone. Because at the very same time, during this full moon, at the very same time, the Saturn is opposite to the moon, and also the sun is moving into Pisces. It's moving into a sign where you already have Rahu, Venus, Mercury. So something in hiding from the world. You cannot show that aspect of your life, of your personality, because you have to keep up with a very bold persona in front of the world. A lot of work is there. Professionally, you are doing a lot. You're meeting new people. You're facing some stressful situations. Meeting people who are very difficult in nature. 7th house transits where you have Sun, Rahu, Venus, Mercury, and then Saturn enters into this very same house. It shows public dealing. It shows the contracts, the partnerships. It is about your very own partner, marriage. So the 7th house affairs are as such. They leave you in this situation where you have to choose something, whether it's the voice of your soul, what you want for yourself, or maybe what aligns with people, what aligns with society, what aligns with your partner. So there's a conflict in decision making, choosing what is right, what is good for you, or whether it's good for the other people. Because this is Pisces, 7th house ruled by the Pisces. And then we have Venus, Mercury also creating Nij Bhang. So the commitments, the partnerships, the promises. These areas are very sensitive this month. On the other note, this very same transit happening in the 7th house is also about taking you to different places professionally. It might be a risk, it might be a new start, it might be something you are doing for very first time. It's like facing the world, facing the people, facing the crowd, the masses. And it makes you uncomfortable. 10th Lord Mercury debilitated in the 7th house. It makes you uncomfortable. But this very same house, the transits here, are enhancing your ability to be out there and do your best, to do your duties, to fulfill your responsibilities. I think that is the very main area of life. And significant lessons with respect to love coming through a partner at this time. Something learned here from a relationship. It is a significant life lesson which is happening for you. And then we have a total lunar eclipse at the very junction of Leo and Virgo, 12th and the 1st house. A very powerful transformation for you as a person, as a personality. You will be more bold. You will overcome a very big challenge here, a limitation which you created for yourself. Maybe a vulnerable feeling created that challenge for you. Getting rid of a certain weak point of your life. Choosing your path, choosing a certain goal, choosing a way of living is happening for you. Mars and Gemini in the 10th house, very active towards work, but a very aggressive approach is required in your professional front. You cannot just sit and do your work calmly. It requires a lot of dedication, responsibilities. That is the very theme for Virgo. For Libra, your first house ruler, Venus, continues its journey in Pisces in the sixth house this month. But there's a lot happening in the sixth house. You already have Venus over there, Rahu in Pisces, then there is Mercury. And in March, there will be Sun and Saturn in the very same house. So, 5 planets in the very sixth house. For Libra, I would say the theme is love. The theme is relationships in your life. There are 2 ways we see our identity. One is how we feel about ourselves, who we are. And second is the identity we get from others, how we feel about ourselves because of other people, how they treat us, right? So this is about strength, understanding your worth, understanding who you are, fighting for yourself, of how amazing you are, how good you are, how worthy you are with respect to your work, your relationships, wherever you are in life, whether it's career, relationships, or your spiritual journey, the very worth of yours, who you are, your ideas, your mindset, this is a time to fight for it. Fight for your identity, fight for your very worth, what you are offering to this world. Because sixth house is the challenge, but sixth house is the victory as well. So overcoming a big challenge happens here. See how the Venus Mercury, they create a Neej Bhang, where Venus is the first lord and Mercury is the ninth lord. And also Venus rules over the 8th house and Mercury rules over the 12th house. So the 8th and the 12th lord together in the 6th house, creating this Neej Bhang in Pisces, which is about a time to see the people, how they are fulfilling their promises, their words, the contracts in life, overcoming certain blocks in life. Especially I see relationships, people in your journey, overcoming these relationships. They block you from your very authentic self. They block you from taking decisions in life. There is some kind of lack of justice you're experiencing right now. It could be lack of justice regarding your work front. There's something you deserve and it's not happening for you. For some people, it could be even litigation, some kind of a dispute in the court as well. So justice is something which you want at this particular time, and you're fighting for it, you're working towards it. And when the Saturn enters into Pisces in the 6th house at the very end of the March, there is some kind of justice delivered. There is some kind of balance which happens for you. There's this one journey ends as Saturn moves to the 6th house. Especially I see with respect to work, with respect to some kind of a legal contract as well. Saturn in your chart rules over the Purva Punya, the 5th house. It is right now in the Aquarius itself. There's some kind of a contract, a person, it could be a karmic contract. You have this contract with someone. It brought a lot of challenges to you. It ends very soon. You are taking charge in your life. You are going to be very powerful with this kind of transformation. Someone's words, someone's tricky nature is creating a lot of harm in your life. Health issues as well. I think it's the words, it's how you're treated. It leads to health issues for you. 6th house is so powerful this month. Overcoming any block in life is meant to happen. Overcoming from any kind of a setback. Going back into a very powerful form. And then there's a full moon in the 11th house in Leo, which brings success, which brings profits and rewards in your journey. Whatever you touch, whatever you do, it brings rewards. It also brings popularity for you. And then the total lunar eclipse at the junction of Leo and Virgo between the 11th and the 12th house. So the mentality, the mind completely changes here, leaving very difficult things behind, not keeping them with your very own self. That surrender happens here. For Scorpio, a lot is happening in your 10th house and your 5th house as well. So there's a full moon in Leo this month in your 10th house. It keeps you proactive. It keeps you very focused towards your work. There is some kind of a reward which enhances your worth, your popularity at the work front. There's something which comes to completion at the professional front. Or maybe it's an act of giving, an act of doing something wonderful for the community, and you are being blessed by other people's blessings. Other people are appreciating you. So there's some kind of upliftment in how the world views you. There is respect which will be earned at this time. And a lot happens in the 5th house itself. So the 5th house theme, the Leo theme, the Sun theme is so strong in your life this month. In the 5th house, we already have Rahu, Venus, Mercury, all in Pisces. And then we will be also having Sun in the Pisces. Saturn will enter into Pisces by the end of March. So a lot happening in the 5th house of emotional intelligence. 5th house is so significant. It rules over your happiness. It rules over your experiences as a soul, and how that experience defines your mindset, your experiences in this life. It's so significant. And when so much happens in the 5th house, it kind of revives emotions which are out there stored in your mind. Now, and these emotions are a part of many journeys, not just this life, not just the early childhood. So this happening in the 5th house, so many placements, it triggers a big change in how you mature, how you view life, how you view relationships, how you view your work. A big shift towards maturity is going to happen with these transits. Further, there's growth, expansion in the wisdom, all happening in the sign of Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, the planet of the biggest, I would say, knowledge. It is about gravity, pulling everything towards you. So many changes happening in the 1 or 2 months, which is about making you more mature, making you more wiser about life. And also here, Saturn will check all the information, all the wisdom you have collected till now in life, how you will use it. How you're going to use your wisdom, because we have Venus and Mercury creating Nijbhang in Pisces. There is Rahu. So there's the possibility of some silly mistakes with respect to relationships, especially. Venus is the 7th lord, Mercury is the 8th lord. So not focusing on people's words, just there is a mismatch in how you understand people. It's very important to see how they are, who they are. So I would say overcoming some kind of manipulation is significant for you. There should be clarity in the relationships, how you view people, what you think about them. There should be no presumption here. See the reality of the people. That is very significant for you this month. 5th house is about the skill set. For a lot of people, it is about finding it a bit hard to execute something in life with respect to your work, your profession, your skill set. But the more you are practicing at this time, the more you will see refinement in your life, refining your career, refining your skill set, refining and polishing yourself as a person. That is happening. For a lot of people, this is about re-entry of certain people from the past. It could be old friends, it could be old relatives, it could be someone known. But do they have their best intentions? This is your test to see them, to understand how you're facing the same person, same situation again and again, and how you take a different decision now, how you act on it, repeating patterns, but how you act on them. This is where the maturity happens, the wisdom is being tested. And there's this total lunar eclipse at the very junction of Leo and Virgo, that is 10th and 11th house. There's some reward, there is some success waiting for you in a very unexpected manner, and it will make you very happy. For Sagittarius, there's a full moon in Leo happening in your ninth house. So you yourself are defined by the ninth house in your journey. You are ruled by the ninth sign, that is Sagittarius, and the ninth house is having a full moon. It's something special. There is luck, there is positivity, there are great blessings coming to you this month. Even if you are going through any kind of crisis or challenge, I think luck is on your side. Help, rescue, faith. There's gift here. The good deeds you have done in the past, I think they are giving you great blessings in this particular month. A lot happening in your fourth house, where we already have Venus, Rahu, Mercury in Pisces, and then we will be having Sun and Saturn as well in the month of March. So 5 planets in the very fourth house. This is about a lot of changes in your personal journey. Maybe it is also about, this month is about creating a balance between home and your professional journey, your personal life versus the social life. But in order, because you want to correct something about the world, about your work, about how the world views you. But in order to do that, you must go to the fourth house activities, fourth house affairs, personal level changes in life. You have to settle certain things with respect to your family life, your relationships, how emotionally you connect with the people, loved ones, the emotional security you have in life. There's something which gives you this threat, emotional, overwhelming challenges. See how the fourth house is having Venus and Rahu together in Pisces, and then the Mercury is also here creating Nijbhang with Venus. It is about the words, the communication, the promises, the interaction with people, which keeps you in this state of some kind of insecurity. There's a deep need to be loved for Sagittarius this month. This is what Venus and Rahu is doing. But Mercury shows that, yes, there is need of love, there is need of support, but you just can't trust just anyone like that. You cannot be the very vulnerable person with just anyone in this world. Mercury brings the need to establish trust, and the trust is not established suddenly, quickly. That sudden trust, the sudden establishment of relationship, bonding with others, it leads to challenges in your journey. Giving time to the connections, the wisdom, because all happening in Pisces, which is about Jupiter, the wisdom should be applied here in life, whether it's a financial decision, whether it's about family life, home, it's about a certain asset, it's about a certain relationship. So as the Sun and Saturn also reaches this house in the month of March, it is about certain responsibilities you have to take care about. It could be related to your home. It could be a very strong decision here with respect to moving to a different place or purchasing a property, like giving up on something and then it is renewed, like selling old property to buy a new one. It's about a transition. It's not just a new thing coming into your life, but the old has to go. So this is what is happening in your personal journey. Renewal is happening here. And I feel it is about a lot of work towards your security, how you feel secure in your life, how stable you feel in life. And there are many factors: finances, your relationships. You have to work through that chaos to make it stable. And once you do that, it reflects in your career, it reflects how the world views you, it reflects on your success as well. So there's some chaos which needs to be in order. That is the fourth house, that is home. For some people, it is about big distance from home, moving away from familiar places in order to establish a new journey or to establish more success in life. There's this total lunar eclipse at the junction of the ninth and the 10th house. Ketu already in Virgo in the 10th house. For Sagittarius, a lot changes with respect to work, where I feel it's more of your intention to give up on something because it no longer makes you happy in the career. For Capricorn, your first house ruler, Saturn, finally leaving the second house and going into the third house in Pisces this month. And already we have many planets in the third house. So third house is the very theme for the month of March. There is Rahu over there, and then we have Venus in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, creating Nijbhang with Venus, but also then the Sun reaches here, the Saturn reaches here. This is a time which is very overwhelming for Capricorn, and all you need to do is to be in your powerful mode, to be courageous. Saturn is testing the courage. It is testing how will you be powerful, even if you know that something is very uncertain in life. You don't know the outcome of something. You don't know what lies next in your journey. How courageous you are to continue that walk of life, continue to pursue your goals. It's not easy. If you see the Mercury Venus Nijbhang created in the third house, it is, I think it is more importantly about self-love, where you trust your work, you trust the wisdom you have, trust how in the past also you have been successful in dealing with your situations. I think that courage is required. Venus also here being the fifth lord, it shows chasing a passion, chasing something you love in life. There's something you dearly love. It could be a person, it could be a work, it could be a hobby, it could be just a dream of yours from a very young age. That dream is somehow fading, that dream is somehow so important for you, but you don't know the outcome. But the Venus enhances your ability to pursue it. I think the Venus gives you the sign that keep that dream alive. Don't let that dream fade away. Because Mercury brings some kind of a doubt. Mercury is bringing obstacle. Mercury is bringing a mental process which is very difficult, where you are criticizing yourself or you don't have enough trust now on your journey and what you are doing. And I think that this trust is also broken from a significant person, like you have a blood connection with this person who is breaking your trust or challenging you at this time. But the Venus brings this hope here that you should not give up on your dreams. And the current situation in life is to enhance your courage, your willpower, your decision-making abilities in life. And sometimes you just have to be in the flow where the life takes you. Third house transits this month are about just continue doing what you are doing. Continue with your work. Don't leave it in between. Even if somehow you're not trusting the process. There is great strength which comes to you. For some people, you may look like a very rude person this month, but it is you filtering out your connections, filtering out what and who is significant and who is not. Like giving your energy, draining your energy to help others before rescuing your own self. You're cutting away those connections, they drain you a lot. And the full moon in the eighth house in Leo this month, it will regenerate a lot of liveliness. It will bring the hope back. It will resurrect your confidence, your power, becoming more bold and powerful in life. And then there's total lunar eclipse at the very junction of Leo and Virgo, the eighth and the ninth house. That is divine luck. There's a blessing coming into your way. There's a time when you have to show courage, you have to show confidence. And when you do that, you're blessed with something beautiful instantly. So this is what is happening for Capricorn in the month of March. For Aquarius, there's a full moon in Leo this month, which is happening in your seventh house. There's a lot of interaction with the world which will happen. Meeting new people because of work. Like you have to be presentable. You have to be ready, looking good and prepared to meet people. Maybe because of your business, because of your work. The world is looking at you. Your public image is something which is important to you at this time, to refine yourself in front of the world. There's a need at this particular time. And a lot happening in the second house for Aquarius. Firstly, your first house ruler, Saturn, is leaving the first house. It's leaving the Aquarius this month, and it will be in the second house in Pisces. So here, Saturn will join the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Rahu, all in Pisces. So if you see the second house, it is about relationships as well. It is the family in which you were born, the family which raised you, the values given to you. And for a lot of people, this could be about the differences between what you value the most and what the family values the most, the known people in your life. For Aquarius, there are two themes. One is the finances, your profession, how the world views you as a valuable professional, enhancing your worth, your value here, knowing your very own worth and changing the place, the job place, moving into a different profession could be. So enhancing the worth, the net worth is where you're focusing. So second, seventh house is about that net worth and how the world views your worth through your assets, through your work. And the second thing which comes from these two houses is relationships. The people, seventh house is the public, the partnerships, the marriage partner. It could also be the contracts you sign with people. The second house is family. Second house is your very own people. So it revolves around these two aspects of life. Your worth as a professional, your worth as a family person as well. So this big shift is happening this month, which is about enhancing the value in your life, enhancing your finances, enhancing your value as a person, as a family person as well. The very conflict of Sun and Saturn in Pisces is about what you know is good for you and what others think is good for you. There is some conflict which needs to be resolved between you and a significant person, might be elder, might be senior to you. And it is a difference of values. It's a difference of two different very perspectives over here. And we have this niche bhang of Venus and Mercury in the very second house. This shows be very careful with your financial decisions. Quick decisions, quick investments can lead to problems because Mercury rules over the fifth house. So any kind of a risky investment can lead to financial challenges for you. And again, the very theme of this month with so many planets in the second house is the family. Helping a certain person in the family, or it could be a major financial decision to be taken in the family life with the inherited money. There's something about the money which is so significant here. And then there is this total lunar eclipse at the very junction of Leo and Virgo, between the 7th and the 8th house. So this is about you trying to move away from a situation, trying to be in peace, trying to be in a very quiet place, trying to cut away certain ties. It's like eliminating a certain problem with someone, and you being in silence, you being in this hermit kind of mode, protecting your energy this month. For Pisces, a lot is happening in your first house. We already have Rahu over here, Venus, and then we have Mercury creating Nijbhang with Venus. And then this month in March, the Sun will enter into Pisces, and Saturn will also enter into Pisces at the very end of March. This is a life-changing time for the Pisces people. A big shift. I would say a major decision is being taken, and it's like you have to take it. Ultimately, you have to do this, because it keeps you uncertain. It keeps you in this confused state. It could be a major decision with respect to work, traveling to a different place, moving in a different country because of work, traveling a long distance to get the work done, to fulfill a certain business contract, a transaction. And there is Venus here, 8th Lord Venus in the first house with the 7th Lord Mercury. This is also about the relationships, the truth, how you have to speak the truth, how there should be clarity in relationships, whether it's your partner, whether it's your business partner, whether it's a romantic connection, because I see there is lack of clarity, there is lack of communication, there's just presumption, how we view people from their faces, how we just see them from the external point of view, but lack of communication, lack of understanding of their journey, how people view your journey, how you view their journey, but not knowing the reality, the truth, the understanding. I think this is where a lot of work needs to happen in your relationships. But I think the shift which you see in March, it matures you, it makes you wiser, it changes you forever. That act of maturity, that completion happens here. There's some completion happens here for you. It could be any aspect of life. And when you talk about the first house, it could be any aspect of life which completely changes for you. And then there is Saturn and Sun in the first house, where Sun is the 6th Lord and Saturn is the 12th Lord as well. So the 6th and the 12th Lord are together in the first house in the month of March. So it shows overcoming a big obstacle, overcoming a big challenge, which you always thought is so threatening, but you will fulfill that, you will complete that work, you will overcome a certain competition. Someone's well-being may create some tension. It could be a father figure, it could also be the mother as well. The well-being of someone is creating concerns, and also your health. Your health needs a lot of care, because there can be overworking, there can be even sometimes overthinking. The main theme, if you see, for Pisces, a lot happening in the first house, it is about not knowing what's going to happen next, but still surviving, but still being very courageous wherever you are in life. Because Mercury's debilitation brings nervousness, it brings difficult thoughts, it makes you concerned. You will overthink a lot about your relationships, your finances. So that nervousness needs to go away. And um, also, Venus Rahu shows tension with respect to relationships and love. That what will happen next, how to enhance the love in your journey. So a lot of personality changes will happen for you, which brings more relief for you. A lot of changes internally needs to happen, which will be done by you this month.